Well, good morning. I'm Pamela Brown in for Carol Costello. Thanks for being here with me on this Friday. And we begin this morning with a political war of words breaking out among Ted Cruz and Donald Trump. Cruz's private comments to fundraisers questioning the judgment of Trump and Ben Carson now going public.
I like and respect both Donald and Ben. But I think in both instances in particular, you look at Paris, you look at San Bernardino, it's given a seriousness to this race that people are looking for who is prepared to be a commander-in-chief. Now that's a question of strength, but it's also a question of judgment. And I think that is a question that is a challenging question for both of them. So my approach, much to the frustration of the media, has been to bear hug both of them and smother them with love. Because I think, look, people run as who they are. I believe that gravity will bring both of those campaigns down, and I think the lion's share of their supporters come to us.
So Trump wasting no time in responding, tweeting, Ted Cruz should not make statements behind closed doors to his bosses. He should bring them out into the open. More fun that way. And this looks like Ted Cruz is getting ready to attack. I am leading by so much he must. I hope so. He will fall like all others. Will be easy. Joining me now, CNN's Athena Jones. Athena, good morning. What's so interesting about this, too, is that Ted Cruz has publicly not attacked Trump, and now we have this private recording from this fundraiser.
Hi, Pamela. That's right. I mean, I guess not a lot of things end up being private when it comes to politics, but you can see there clearly Cruz making the argument that those supporters from Trump and Carson are going to come to him when the support for them fades. And Trump, of course, we know he doesn't seem to sleep a lot, and he's also a big consumer of the news media. So he has been watching, it seems like this morning, and wanting to weigh into this. The real question is, we only have our debate just 4 days away. Will Ted Cruz start attacking Donald Trump in public? Donald Trump is right. All other people who've tried to come after him haven't fared well after doing so, Pamela.
Right, and now we know Ted Cruz is #2 in the polls in Iowa, and there's definitely going to be a battle there. Athena Jones, thank you so much. And now I want to bring in Jason Johnson, political science professor at Hiram College and SiriusXM contributor. Jason, thank you so much for coming on. Just a few days ago, Ted Cruz said he, quote, won't get engaged in personal insults and attacks, and that he was, his words, grateful Trump is running, but in private, clearly a very different tone. Why the secrecy?
I don't think it's secrecy. I think it's just good strategy. Look, you have to remember, these guys all want to win. I mean, they act nice in public, but they eventually want to win. And Ted Cruz sees the numbers and has seen the numbers for months and months and months that say he is the leading second choice getter amongst Trump voters, amongst Carson supporters, and even amongst Rubio supporters. So basically, Ted Cruz's attitude all along has been, I'm going to be nice to everybody because when these guys drop out of the race, all their voters are going to come to me.
Good strategy. I mean, he won't say that in public, but he says it at this private fundraiser. He must have known this could get out to the public, right?
Well, you could ask the same question to Mitt Romney. I think everybody sort of mistakenly thinks, Pamela, sometimes that, look, if these people paid to meet with me, that they're not going to betray me and record me and take that information out. So, it was kind of a mistake on Cruz's part to perhaps not have better security, but nothing he said was offensive. I don't think this is a rift. I think even Donald Trump, if you see his responses, he's more chiding Ted Cruz. He's like, come on, come at me, say it to my face. No one sees this as a problem because everyone here recognizes the race is getting tight.
Right. And Cruz, meanwhile, seems to be making a play for Trump's voters. Do you think, did it just backfire with the release of this video? What are your thoughts on that? With this audio, I should say.
I don't think it's backfired. I mean, look, Trump basically said, if you come for me, from the wire, if you come for the king, you best not miss. Trump has said, you can say whatever you want behind closed doors, just don't say it to me publicly. I don't think Ted Cruz is that dumb. We're this close to Iowa right now. I think a lot of Trump supporters will still look at Ted Cruz as a viable option if Trump drops out of the race. And I don't think this has caused a rift between the candidates. But we'll see on the debate next Tuesday.
And what Cruz said behind closed doors is pretty mild still if you compare it to what other candidates have been saying, including Hillary Clinton on the other side of the aisle. She had this to say to Seth Meyers last night. Let's take a listen.
I have to say, Seth, I no longer think he's funny.
Yes. I will say I started feeling that way.
I think for weeks, you and everybody else were just bringing folks to hysterical laughter and all of that. But now he has gone way over the line. And what he's saying now is not only shameful and wrong, it's dangerous.
And the New York Times headline saying that to Democrats, Trump is no longer a laughing matter, that they're struggling with how to respond given his obvious appeal to voters. So where do Clinton, Sanders, and O'Malley go from here?
Well, Clinton continues to go up. O'Malley continues to be nowhere, and Sanders is more focused on making sure he can actually win a primary. So I don't think the Democrats running for president at the lower tier are concerned yet. But Hillary Clinton realizes that if she ends up facing Donald Trump, and I had a conversation yesterday with a good colleague of mine, the RNC. The RNC realizes now it is very possible that Donald Trump could be their nominee. Hillary realizes she's got to have more energy, she's got to be more direct, and she's really going to have to take it to Trump at some point. But I think right now, she's just sort of setting the stage. I've never thought that Trump was funny, but I do think that it's about time that some candidates sort of come out and clearly say, hey, look, some of this rhetoric is not really becoming necessarily of someone who's going to become president of the United States.
And now we're learning from the Washington Post that this idea of a contested convention is becoming more of a possibility, or more discussion about that among the Republicans, right?
Yeah, Pamela, and I think that would be a huge mistake. Look, democracy works best when people actually get the candidate that they want. I don't think it's reasonable for the Republican Party to turn their backs. First off, most of the things that Donald Trump is saying, lots of Republicans agree with him. In the polls, they think it's okay to keep Muslims out of the country. They think it's reasonable to put monitoring and surveillance on mosques. So what is the problem with having a candidate that represents the core of your own constituency? I think it's disingenuous for the Republicans to try and find a way to kick Trump out of this race. Either let somebody beat him or let him win fair and square. But I think it'll be a mistake if they try to keep him from getting this nomination.
And we're just looking at this latest poll out by CBS News, basically saying that a majority of Americans oppose that idea. But when you look at the Republican Party, it's a different story. More than 50% support that. All right, Jason Johnson, thank you very much.
Thanks, Pamela.